I'm going to teach you two ways that you can really quickly do a t-test in Excel. So first off, when do you do t-tests? You do t-tests when you have two groups and you want to ask the question, are my groups different? So for example, in our case, we have test scores from two groups, Group A and Group B. And we want to ask, did Group A get a different set of test scores, or is the mean of Group A's test scores different from that of Group B? And a t-test will give you the answer to that. So the first way is to use the built-in function in Excel, which is t.test. In this case, we want to select our first set of data, or our first group, and select our second group. And now we have to put in the option of, do we want to do a one-tailed comparison or a two-tailed comparison? And this will depend on your data, but in our case, we're going to do a one-tailed. In addition, we need to select whether or not we're doing a pair t-test, or two sample with equal variance t-test, or one with unequal variance. In our case, we're going to be assuming that they have equal variance, so we're going to do number 2. And the number that is outputted here will be your p-value from your t-test. And in this case, if we've established that our significance cutoff is 0.05, and we see that this value is higher, we know that these two groups are not the same. Now, I've created a group over here where I know that there is a difference, just to show you what number will pop up. So if we do the same thing where we highlight our two groups, you see that this number, in this case, is less than 0.05, meaning that within our parameters, we're going to say that Group A and Group B have different test scores. Now, another way you can do a t-test in Excel is using the Data Analysis Toolpak. You can find this Toolpak under the Data tab on the far right by clicking the Data Analysis button. Here you see we get the choice to select, again, which type of t-test we want to do. So in our case, we wanted to do a t-test with two samples, assuming equal variance, and a window will pop up. Now this window will again let us select our two groups. So in this case, we're selecting our group A, and we're selecting our group B. And now you get to play a bit more with this one, and we get to pick what our hypothesized mean differences. So in this case, we're probably assuming that there's no difference, so let's just put 0. If you've included the labels of your groups, so in my case, I included Group A and Group B in my highlights, you want to check off labels. Next, you want to establish what your significance cutoff is. So in this case, again, we're going to be using 0.05, but you can change it accordingly depending on your data set. Finally, we want to output the data somewhere on this document, and let's just say we want it right here. Next, all you have to do is click OK, and you will get a table here with the summary of your t-test. So in this case, the important values to look at are your one-tailed t-test critical values or the p-values. So we can just focus on this value here or this value here. In both cases, it shows that our test shows that the data set is not significant and there is no difference between the two groups. Now again, I'm going to run this test with the data set that we know there is a difference, just to show you guys what happens. So when we do Group A versus Group B, and everything else is the same, now just output that result over here. And we see that in this case, there is a difference observed because we note that both of our p-values are below 0.05. But again, remember that we said we want to do a one-tailed. So really, this is the one that really mattered to us.